The Declaration of Independence is in effect the Articles of Incorporation, or the preamble, for our federal union. The Constitution of the United States, or the bylaws. The Declaration says we are endowed by our Creator with certain inalienable rights. It acknowledges that our rights are a gift from God, that we are His creatures, and it is a simple statement of fact that if God is sovereign, as the framers acknowledged Him to be, that law is inevitably the will of the sovereign. The laws of God cannot be overturned by a 2/3 vote of Congress or a unanimous decision of the Supreme Court. Abortion is always illegal in the sight of God. If a civil government chooses to permit it, that doesn't make it legal in His sight. That simply criminalizes the civil government which advances it. The Declaration goes on to make the point that government derives its just powers from the consent of the governed. And there's a theological principle there, in that the governed are God's creatures who owe a duty to their Creator. To the degree that they delegate policy-setting functions and control of resources to civil government, they have an obligation to God to hold civil government accountable to them so that they can be accountable to Him. The link between the Declaration and the Constitution can be seen in the very first sentence of the Constitution after the preamble, which says that all legislative powers shall be vested in a Congress of the United States. All vested, can't be surrendered. One of the real problems is that Congress simply is not doing its constitutional duty. There was a critical moment during the deliberations over the Constitution when Washington, at the end of a day's deliberations, concerned that the work of the convention might run aground on the shoals of pragmatism, rose to address his colleagues and said, "If to please the people, we offer what we ourselves disbelieve, how may we then afterward defend our work? Our job is to raise a standard to which the wise and honest may repair, recognizing that the event is in the hands of God." I can't think of anyone who more comprehensively in the political life of our nation personified Christian character than George Washington. He was a man of extraordinary character and a tremendous leadership example. And one of the lessons that we learned from Washington's career is that it isn't one's innate wisdom or genius that leads to success. Washington was in many ways a very bright man, but he was not a strategic genius per se. He was a plodder, and he suffered many defeats in life and on the battlefield. But he knew that his duty was to persevere until God was ready to grant him the victory.